Does this thing lag? I wonder. Huh. Hello. Can you fuckers hear me? How about now? How about now? Huh. I think maybe that's the link there, D, to send you to the room. I quite literally have only about 30 seconds worth of lag.
Hello?
Can you hear me, D son?
Yeah, I can totally hear you, man. Can you hear me? I can't use my webcam because the laptop's up under the TV, man.
Ah, it's all good. I think we need to kill out the other pages. This is streaming us live, man. Like the Google pages,
Oh yeah, I'll go kill them out if I can find them. Let me
or
try that.
not Google, but YouTube, where it's ringing back to you, man. You should be able to hear me in the chat room, I believe.
There we go. I just cut YouTube out completely because I mean, I don't need YouTube right now.
Understandable.
So what's up, brother?
Not much shit, man. We're streaming and it's got about 30 seconds worth of lag, but when I end the video, it will
So it's
automatically put the video up onto YouTube for us.
okay. So this is going on to YouTube.
At current moment, yes, brother.
Okay, now I know what things I cannot talk about.
Pretty much everything fun.
True, true.
I I don't give a fuck on my channel, man. I cuss like a saint, so give it hell.
Well, hell, who else have we got that we can bring in? I mean, can we get Swanky and Tony up in here?
Squonk should be able to on his iPad, man, or on his pad if he'll click the link.
Cool, cool. If they would, because I mean, it'd be neat to have a big conference going on. By the way, if I'm a little silent at times, that's because I've got several conversations going on.
Oh, it's all good, man. You probably hear my air conditioner in the background. This thing will record us for up to 8 hours straight, man.
For real?
For real.
That's pretty cool. Is,
Shit,
is the 8 hour limit, is that like the limit of what the software will hold or the limit of what the hard drive will take?
it's a limit of what the Google or the Yahoo servers will take, and then they'll end it, and then we'll have to start again. Like say if we was to do an 8 hour video of us talking about Drake's equation, man.
Oh, I'm totally ready to talk about Drake's equation, and it's not that I need to look at any notes or anything. Um, we are on YouTube, so I can't really tell you why I can't reply right now other than I'm talking to someone, but I'll be right with you. We'll totally do that.
Okie dokie. I think I see who you're talking to. Good luck with that one, bro.
Hey, man, that's at least that's not the crazy one. The real crazy one, I had to freaking, well, just without revealing too much information, the real crazy one had to fucking go. I mean, they are banned and gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just damn.
Oh my God, I would have IP banned her from the internet if I could have.
Shit, you give me a few days and I'll figure out how.
But I think I know how. I've never done it, but I've looked into the process of it. It has something to do with blacklisting somebody's subnet mask at their ISP.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I've never done that, but I've heard that if you do that for the wrong reasons, it can get a man in a lot of trouble.
Oh, dude, it's no trouble. That fucks with people's freedoms.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So it'd be like because I know if the federal government gets involved when it comes to messing with a person's freedoms, if the federal presses, I don't know what the charge is called, but if the federal government gets you for messing with somebody else's personal freedom, oh, that's a lot of trouble right there.
Did we get a Bob up in here? He just sent me a question mark. No, wait. Damn it. Come on, Bob. You can do it.
Oh, well, I'm surprised the question mark in this nickname.
That's just me.
Okay, I've got a cigarette. The fan's going. All right. So we are going to talk about the Drake's equation. Yes.
Well, you can, sure.
Okay. Because it seems like these people I'm talking to, like they just don't give a fudge at you.
Man, I don't know what's going on, but it sounded like you turned into a robot or something there for a minute.
Um. Yeah, yours did that on the other side. I think. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm going to have to quit and come back. Google Chrome just crashed. That's what's going down. You'll have to re-invite me, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh, Chrome itself went down, or the Hangout went down?
No, Chrome itself. I got the little error message. Google Chrome has stopped working. Windows can check for a solution online, or you can just close the program. Yeah,
Holy fuck, shitballs!
yeah. So I'm just going to reboot. Well, not completely reboot. I'm just going to restart Google, come back in here, and resend me an invite, bro.
Okie dokie. I think the link's still in the chat we was on.
Cool.
Huh. Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm waiting a second for DSON to come back.
Okay. I'm kind of sort of here now.
Okie dokie.
Did we ever get Bob or Mel in or anybody?
No, nobody's clicking the damn link.
I'm telling you, man, it's because of my tremendous, just unspeakable unpopularity, man. They will not come. If it was just you, they would show up.
I figured, man, it was a lot of them don't want to go live.
Well, I don't see why they wouldn't want to go live. I mean, it's not like people on YouTube are going to see it live. They're going to see it when it's not live. So it's just going to be another video in the end.
Pretty much. It's either that or the fact that I sent the 10-inch mutant turtle links like 5 or 6 times.
Ah.
They may not trust any links that I send now because I sent them to amphibian porn. That may play a role.
Okay.
Damn, I need to get a webcam back.
I mean, I've got a webcam, but to get mine going, it's all that blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't want to jerk the thing out from underneath the TV where it's at and happy.
I got one, but it's super shitty, man. You can barely make anything out of it.
All right, so we need to get the scientific ball to roll. My mind's not going to kick into scientific gear until I hear something like, I don't know. Today I'm thinking black holes would be a good topic to start out on as far as science. And while you're thinking about black holes, not the pornographic kind, mind you, we're talking
Damn
about
it.
the gravitational space anomalies. I'm going to go get something to drink, and I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Hmm. Well, if it's not the black holes down at Harlem Heights, I don't know much about them. I hear you in the distance, but you are far, far away, my friend.
And I don't even know what that was to Phil. I don't care. I'm semi back. Now I'm going to make something to smoke.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, did you hear me about Harlem Heights, brother?
Yeah, that's the wrong kind of black hole, bro.
Damn it, man.
Although, depending on what kind of scientist you are, it could be just as fun.
Oh, yep, yep.
Okay.
Uh, to
So,
me,
well, um, I guess we could start with something like, I guess you knew that recently gravitational waves were discovered for like the very first time. I think it was near the end of 2015. And even more recently, they just discovered more gravitational waves. And for some reason, this was also big news because all it did was confirm that the first gravitational waves that they discovered were, in fact, a fact. So, gravitational waves are a fact now, apparently.
is it an actual wave?
Yes.
So
Um,
gravity is set on a freaking frequency.
it has to do completely with how a black hole bends and warps space time. And the instances when they discovered these gravitational waves, when two black holes collide with each other, you can only imagine what would happen.
Yep.
Well, one will consume the other, or they both will consume each other until they become one supermassive black hole.
Oh yeah, I've seen where they had a soundbite of when the two come together. It actually made a bloop.
Yes. Well, these bloops that you actually, if you heard the audio, those bloops are gravitational waves. To hear it through a plasma audio filter, which is what scientists are doing now, they use radio telescopes to look at the plasma in space, and then they convert it to audio. It sounds like a bird chirping, man. That's what two black holes merging causing gravitational waves sound like. It sounds like a bird chirping.
Damn.
Sure enough. And this person came back that I was talking to, so I'm going to be quiet off and on. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lead you into the Drake's equation theory, or the Drake equation. The Drake equation specifically is an equation that gives the odds that there is other intelligent extraterrestrial life just within the Milky Way galaxy. If I'm not mistaken, the numbers on that is something like up in the billions of possible planets there could be just in this galaxy alone with intelligent extraterrestrial life on par with humanity.
Just in our and the fact
Yes.
that there is like more galaxies out there.
Well, yeah, just in this Milky Way, there's billions of opportunities for extraterrestrial life to be just as intelligent as we are, and that is excluding, let's see, there's a number of civilizations in our galaxy that reach communications if possible. The Drake's equation is N equals R F N L F F L, which basically translates to the average rate of star formation per galaxy. So that just gives you an average in your average size galaxy, right? And then the FP is the fraction of those stars with planets. See, not all stars have planets. Some stars are just rogue stars with no planets, just roaming around. Okay, so you're even counting the fraction of stars that would actually have planets. The average of those planets, okay, that may develop an ecosystem. So it's not just planets, it's planets that develop a system that could sustain life. And then the number of those planets that actually had a chance in succeeding in developing life. And then you get into the FI, which is basically the fraction of those planets where the life could have evolved intelligently.
Intelligently would be the key to it all. I believe that there's already lives with, or already planets with life, but none intelligent per se yet.
Say what, brother? I couldn't catch that.
I believe there is already planets with life, base form life, like bacteria and archaea and stuff like that, but nothing with actual life just yet.
Well, that would take us into, I mean, really at this point, if you really want to just take an average number and spin it around and see what pops up, whether a person believes in science or whether a person believes in religion, all roads lead to Navarone, brother. Just about every possible philosophy of life leads to the possibility that there is, intelligent life out there. If you're into religion, which I personally am, but I try not to mix my science and religion too much. But if you're into religion,
Why not?
well, because when you do, science won't have it. Science has to be credible and proven before it's a scientific fact. There are stages to the scientific process. You start with hypothesis, you work your way into theory, you test the theory, and you work it into fact. Once it becomes fact, it is factual science. And, I believe in religion and I support religion. But if you're actually going to give a scientific speech and you really want to throw your game down, you can't be quoting, things that aren't factually supported by science. So to speak science and religion together, you have to really tread through careful waters.
How about saying simply all knowledge comes from one place, and wherever that place is, or whatever its name is, we don't know.
Well, I would kind of look at it like this. If you follow religion, then you believe that the world was created by an already living force. And if you're super religious, you don't want to even stop to consider that that living force, by textbook definition, would be an extraterrestrial. To be a being that is alive and intelligent and not of this planet Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get into that, I mean, you'll see a lot of people that are religious and be like, no, there's just life on Earth. That's it. Nothing else. Blah, But I mean, if you really want to analyze the situation, there was life before mankind, if you believe in religion, which hints at extraterrestrial life. Now, if you look into science, science tells you, on the other hand, that there's an infinite possibility, especially if you consider quantum mathematics, which states that, quantum mathematics is funny. in this method. People take it and they only look at half of it. Quantum mathematics states that a thing, a particle of mass, can exist in two states at once.
Yeah.
But what quantum mathematics also states is a particle of mass cannot exist in a singular state. It has to exist in multiple states at once.
Yeah.
Okay, so if life here on Earth exists, by quantum mathematics standpoint, it absolutely must exist somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, let me ask you something, or bring up. Let me bring up a point. You do know that I've read some of the juicier parts of the Bible,
uh-huh.
and in some of the parts of it, it speaks of chariots that fly with fire and steel.
Now
And
run that by me again.
it speaks of a chariot that flies with wheels of fire and steel.
Are you talking about the prophecy of Ezekiel where it says wheels inside wheels?
Yeah, where the guy was told to go and build this, which was so many cubics by so many cubics by so many cubics. And they actually took it and built it on a model scale, and it looked like a landing pad for a UFO.
I would like to see, actual Bible verses, because when it comes to religion and science, I woefully respect both of them, and I like to be factual, to a T with each one. What I think you're talking about is the prophecy of Ezekiel, where he was quoting wheels inside wheels inside wheels, that vision that he saw.
Oh, no, maybe it might be. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember it exactly to a T. Um, there's another thing, the rapture itself. Have you read like parts of the rapture? The parts that I remember the most.
Oh, brother, I don't want to quote names, but me and you and several other people were in the same group years and years ago. We
Yep.
all know the rapture inside out, and it's all because of that one guy. So, yeah.
And it, dude, being sucked up in a beam of light to heaven, that sounds like alien abduction to me.
Well, I mean, that's where you get into definitions, literal textbook definitions. Uh, yeah, you could look at it like that. I mean,
Have you ever thought about it like that?
well, I hadn't exactly thought of the rapture as an abduction, but really, if you wanted to go ahead and lay definitions down to the actions that are taking place, yeah, that's pretty well what's going on, ain't it?
Yeah. When you get sucked up into the sky in a beam of light, it reminds me of what these rednecks say. I was just drinking a beer. Next thing I know, I was floating.
And I'll tell you what, me and Jeb, we was out there hunting squirrels, and what kind of sound was it, Jeb? It went.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's my favorite thing to do, man. I go to these UFO and alien forums.
Yeah.
You run into three different types of people on the forums where people talk about extraterrestrial life. You run into the really serious science student that wants to find that one clue that leads them to some sort of research that can convince them it's real. And then you run into Jeb and Fred that were out drinking in the backyard, and this is what the UFO sounded like.
Yep.
Then you run into the other people that are just there to make fun of everybody else. And that's the only three types of people that go to those forums.
But if you take a good hard look at it, does it not seem like what they describe in alien abduction, except for it's a willing abduction?
Well, think about this. If we're still going on literal textbook definitions, how is there such a thing as a willing abduction if you really, really want to think about it?
Well, yeah, it is kind of I can't think of the name for it, but it's two words that don't quite fit in the sentence. They fight each other, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's kind of like when you get
Yeah.
into, when you get into religion as a topic, you really have to get into a lot of philosophical, because three people can hear the exact same quote and verse and take it all different ways.
Well, see, I don't. There's only two thoughts that I have on religion altogether to sum it up as a whole. Religion was originally started as a set of rules to keep us from killing and raping each other, and then expanded from there. The second is I believe that the words themselves mean exactly what the word means in English. Like if they say a seven headed dragon with seven seals, yada yada, with all the sevens, that's what will pop up.
Well, that comes from your personal choice in the way that you interpret the Bible. The agnostics, as a belief system, they do read the Bible and they take it, literally word for word. But
Quite literally.
you have to understand there are several instances in the Bible where parables are used, and a parable is not meant to be taken literally; it's meant to be metaphorically.
Did it say that this is a parable?
Well, I mean, when Jesus gives the parable of, I don't know. Let me give you an example of a parable. I'll have to look one up because I don't want to misquote the Bible right quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, see, that's my only two standpoints on the Bible and on religion as a whole. Is it's basically a set of rules to keep us from killing, raping, and eating each other.
the sower and the seeds. This is a good one. It says, and when the great crowd came together, and the people from the town after town came in him, he said a parable. And this is Jesus talking. He says, a sower went out to sow his seeds. And as he sowed, some fell along the path and was trodden underfoot. And the birds of the air devoured it. It says, and some of them fell on the rock. And when, and let me see, some of them fell on the rock. And as it grew up, it withered away because it had no moisture. And some fell among the thorns. And the thorns grew with it, and it choked. And some fell into good soil and grew, and yielded bountiful, or yielded hundredfold. And he said this, he called out, he who has ears, let him hear. And when his disciples asked him what this parable meant, do you see what I'm saying? The disciples right there are asking him, well, what does that mean? And Jesus is about to explain. It says, to you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of God, but for others they are in parables, so that seeing that they may not see, and hearing that they may not understand. Now the parable is, the seed is the word of God. The ones along the path are those who have heard. The devil comes and takes away the word from their hearts, that they may not believe and be saved. And the ones on the rock are those who, when they heard the word, received it with joy. But these who have the word of God, these ones along the path are those that have heard it, and the devil comes along and they, oh, okay, I skipped the line. It says, but those who have heard no root, they believe for a while, and in time of temptation fall away. So it says, and as for what fell among the thorns, they are those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by the cares and riches and pleasures of life, and their fruit does not mature. So, I mean, I skipped over lines. It's on a big, large screen, man, and I don't have a bookmark to just slide down it. But anyway, basically, Jesus was telling about this farmer sowing his seeds in the ground, and it was meant to be in parable form. And his own disciples had to ask, well, what does this mean? And he had to explain to them, like, okay, well, the seeds are the word of God, and the ones that were dropped here did this, and the ones that were did there did that, and this is what it means. So, Jesus spoke in parables quite a lot, and you'll notice that theme within the Bible. The Bible, in some cases, is not meant to be a true, accurate account of instances where things truly happened as such. It's meant to be a book full of lessons for people to learn these spiritual lessons from. So like that farmer that went out in his field and spilled these seeds, that was a parable, and Jesus spoke many parables.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for.
Me, I've always good as word for word.
So I mean, there's just so much. I don't know, man. For speaking live on camera, man, I know it seems like I stumble over my words a lot, but I'm going with what I can. It's like the prophecy of Ezekiel with the wheels inside wheels thing. As far as I know, nobody really till this day truly understands that prophecy that Ezekiel had, the wheels inside wheels ordeal. The closest I've ever came to understanding it is that wheels, W-H-E-E-L-S, are almost a parable of wills, W-I-L-L-S. And when you have the Trinity, which is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Then all of their wills, or W-I-L-L-S, work together as one, so they don't disagree. That's the way I take it, but that may not even be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was looking for what I was telling you about, the video where the guy rebuilt the thing from Bible's description.
You're probably thinking of the Ark, brother. You're probably thinking of Noah's Ark. There's like 15 people that's actually rebuilt that from the Bible's description. One guy was a billionaire in Brazil, and he just finished his this year.
Huh.
Sure enough. And guess what he's going to do with it once it's finished? Well, it is finished now. I was just going on the story that I had read several months ago. It's finished by now, and he's already doing that. He is sailing around Brazil, giving out Bibles and Bible lessons to people from this ark,
Yeah, it was Ezekiel's will.
Yeah. Now, the way that I understand that, Ezekiel's will, now you have to realize this was in the Old Testament. And the Old Testament seems to take place before Jesus was born. But a lot of people tend to believe that in the book of Genesis, when God started speaking, I think it was about like, it might have been Genesis 6, maybe, or even earlier. About the 6th day of when he was creating earth, he suddenly went from let there be and let it be to let us make and let us do. He was suddenly talking to somebody. And lots of people tend to think it might have been Jesus.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Let us and let we and so. He was using the third verse, or the third. You know what I'm trying to say? The third form.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people hear things in modern times, like they'll hear royalty, like say Queen Elizabeth, and well, you have offended us. We cannot accept this, or whatever. You know how royalty would speak. A lot of people seem to take that and think, well, that's just how royalty spoke. They spoke about themselves in the third plural person. Like let us and let we. But originally, when God first started talking in Genesis, he was like, let there be, let it be. you know. But by about the sixth day, it was like, now let us make them in our image. You see what I'm saying? So he was talking to somebody.
Yeah. Well, you know what the Protestants believe on that, don't you?
Actually, when it comes right down to it, the only thing I really know about a Protestant is it is an offbeat branch of the Catholic religion. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't really know just a great deal about the Protestants and what they believe.
Um, Dad's. Well, no, it's not a Protestant. What is that other one? Pentecostal. That's it. Pentecostal. Dad's a Pentecostal.
Now, Pentecostals, I know quite a bit about them and what they believe.
Yeah. He believes that it's when God was speaking in the third or the third form, that it was he was talking to the Holy Trinity at that point, which would have been the Holy Ghost and Jesus.
Well, I mean, that very well could have been. I mean, it may be because I mean, I personally don't know for sure. I mean, and I consider that there was probably angels there too.
Oh, that could have been very well too. He could have been telling them to do this or that.
So, but I mean, at least we're on the same page here. God was definitely speaking to somebody. He wasn't just royally and regally speaking in this godlike third person for no reason.
No, only crazy people do that. Like literally crazy. When you hear him say "we" or "I" or there's nobody in the room, you
Yeah, for real.
you need to worry.
Oh. But did we ever touch up on science now that I actually have more time? We did finish with the Drake's equation, right? I was kind of stumbling over my words. I had just woke up. But the Drake's equation, man, once my brain catches up with the world, I'm quite a bit more fluent with this. Uh,
Okay.
the, the equation is N equals R squared, okay? FP dot NE dot FI dot FC L. And basically, the equation pretty much tells the story going through the different steps of like um, the number of civilizations which which reach a point of interstellar communication, which is N, equals, right? So it's
Yeah.
basically like the number of intelligent, alien races that we can speak to, N, equals, the average rate of star formation per galaxy, or the average rate of star formation in just our galaxy, sorry, not per galaxy, in just our galaxy. The fraction of those, and that's R squared, the average rate of the formations of stars just in our galaxy. That would be the R squared part. Okay. Now, you move into the fraction of those stars with planets, which would be FP. And I mean, you can get that, right? FP, fractions of planets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then here's the next one. And then it's dot NE, the average number of those planets that may have developed an ecosystem, which is NE. Um, I know what the NE stands for. It's the ecosystem. I don't know why it's termed NE and not EE, but it might be number of ecosystems, NE. But okay. And then you've got dot FI, the fractions of those planets that succeeded in developing life. Oh, I'm sorry, that's FL. That's not FI, that's FL. Boy, it sounds bad to misquote an equation when you're trying to talk science, doesn't it?
It'll be all right.
Okay,
Okay.
that's FL, which is basically the fractions of those planets that developed life. And then comes F dot Fi. That's the fractions of those planets that did develop life, which developed intelligent life.
Hmm.
Okay? And then you got FC, which is the fractions of those planets that developed intelligent life that could communicate with Earth and humans.
So basically, it's breaking it down to the smallest variance.
Well, I mean, really, when you get into calculus and quantum mathematics, that's really all calculus and quantum math is about. Taking a big question and breaking it down into as many subjects and possibilities as you can and writing a formula. That is pretty much the whole thing.
Hmm. Ah, this is what I was talking about. It was a whole freaking temple they told the guy to build. And Ezekiel's wheel.
Um, I would like to pretend that I'm familiar with that part of the story, but I don't believe I am, brother. I mean, when it comes to the Bible, I'm not just super fully studied on every subject. I believe you that it's in there, but I'm not studied on that part.
I sent you a video through Facebook, the 3D animation of what it would look like, and it shows the cubics by cubics. Right in the center there, you can see where the landing zone for something to come from above is.
I think I may have seen a video where somebody built something that was supposed to have been from religious scripture, and at some point, somehow, it really ended up looking like the base of a pyramid trimmed off for something to land on.
Well, it's not quite like that. It was a city, and then right in the center of the city
I see it.
is,
I see it. Yeah, there's the video.
yeah.
Can you hear that, by the way?
Oh yeah, it's coming through.
Okay. Is it very long?
It's pretty loud. Do you have any headphones, Steve?
Yeah, but I'd have to get all up underneath the TV where everything is and do all that shit. I'm just going to skip ahead and get to the interesting beefy parts.
You could drop the sound on the video because it's just music.
Oh yeah, but it's cool music. Adds to it.
What do you think about that, man?
Huh. Well, I think it's fairly interesting for several reasons. I think we had to talk about human genetics, didn't we?
Oh, dude, did I send you that one link, the video?
Which one?
Uh, the power of Anunnaki blood, I believe it was.
I think you did, where it finally got into the Rh negative and positive blood types possibly being extraterrestrial.
Yep, and it also stated that we only have like so many pairs, base pairs of combinations that our body allows us to go with, but in the coding, there's like, I think, shit, what was it, like 200 or 250 more lines of code that we could go up to where it could create something extra, but it seems to be lopped off at that portion right there to where it only lets us create that.
Well, I think what is interesting and what a lot of people never really consider is everybody wants to form their own opinions about science and come to their own conclusions about things like extraterrestrial life. And I mean, that's cool. Everybody's entitled to form their own opinions about things. I mean, that's pretty well what forming an opinion is about. But what I find interesting that would pretty much blow anybody's mind on Earth, go to a phlebotomist or a geneticist and ask these highly studied, highly educated people, hey, is the Rh negative and Rh positive blood type possibly extraterrestrial? And every one of them will say, yeah, it may be extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't consider this. They they think, well, aliens are something that was invented in the 1940s for TV. But science has no answer for why the Rh negative and Rh positive blood types are so incredibly different from the rest.
Let me hit you with another knowledge bomb, man. Did you know that the Rh negative is a dominant factor in only white people?
Um, well,
There's like a 2% chance that you will get a Rh negative black person, but they are mixed with white in their lineage somewhere.
well, I mean, I didn't know that for a fact. I had never really considered it, but now that I really start running through my head all the different studies that I did on the Rh negative and positive blood types, every damn one of them was white and of European descent.
Yep. Well, let me hit you with another knowledge bomb. For some reason, they suppose that that's a trait, which I cannot guarantee, but they suppose that that come from Neanderthal.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and you really gotta look into this. When it comes to science, particularly, I've spent about the last 6 years on pretty much a set of scientific forums for people that actually work at CERN. These guys are cool if you can actually get them to talk to you. After several years of being there, I finally got their attention with a lot of my science posts, mostly because they just wanted to come out of the woodworks, and basically be like, look, dude, we don't need you here, Mickey Mouse and science. We're trying to do real shit, you know. And so that was how I started talking with these people. Well, that's been a few years back. And in the last 3 years, 4 members at CERN, particularly, that are on these forums, have taught me so much about science, man, that it blows my mind every day that I wake up. Um, Here's the thing. They have given me a respect for factual information. One of the things I've learned from dealing with people is a lot of people are prone to just make up their own opinion and go about their way and have that formed opinion and be like, well, this is fact. This is fact, this is fact, this is fact. But what a lot of people don't realize is unless a person is terribly educated on a subject to the point of knowing the scientific facts, a lot of what people think they know is in fact not fact.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is this. People want to think about evolution, and they want to think about Charles Darwin, and they want to think about how chickens become dinosaurs and whales become bologna sandwiches and giraffes become pizzas or whatever. You know what people
Darwin
don't,
was off his rocker.
well, what people don't realize is there's a lot of different schools of thought on evolution. You've got your creationists who want to believe that we were created, which is the camp that I lean toward. I don't show the creationists disrespect. What I do is I honor my own beliefs that I believe in creationism by learning as much about science as I can. And on the way that I've learned so many things, you will learn that science does more to support religion than it actually does to discredit it. But that's for another subject. What I want to get into right now is we were talking about evolution and creationism. People want to believe that evolution is a fact. People want to believe that evolution happened and that, dinosaurs evolved into chickens and that, cavemen evolved into modern man. But what people don't realize, firstly, evolution is a theory.
Mm-hmm.
It has a bunch of missing links. And when people think of how many missing links that evolution has, they think, oh, if we could just find that one femur from a Neanderthal over in Brazil somewhere, we're set, buddy. What people don't realize is there are over 3,000 missing links from the caveman to modern man. 3,000. We We will never find them all, because here is what's up. Evolution is an unproven theory with a bunch of missing links, and there's something else that people really, really need to consider real bad, and modern science confirms this. What genetic data from these older bones that we have been able to look at, and of course, you know, genetic data corrupts. We don't have the actual genetic data from a caveman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we had to use supercomputers and machines, and we had to basically rebuild their DNA in a computer just to look at it.
Yep.
When we did look at the DNA of the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon man, we are not related to them. We are not descended from them. Those are a group of people that just like there used to be 16 different types of banana trees in the world, there used to be 4 different types of grapes in the world, there used to be 30 different types of wolves in the world. Species sometimes die out, and only the stronger species and more proper species or more fit species survive. Survival of the fittest.
So you don't subscribe to the theory that all white people have at least a percentage of Neanderthal DNA through interbreeding?
I don't not only not subscribe to it, it's a scientific fact that we don't, brother. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
We are not compatible with them. It would be like trying to get a donkey and a kitty cat to make a baby. We are a completely different species, brother. There's no such thing as intermingling. It wouldn't be possible under any way, shape, or circumstance. That's the reason that there are no cavemen left. They couldn't interbreed with us. We are a different species of human. Just like a donkey and a zebra are different. I don't know. I think a donkey and a zebra can make a baby. Well, we're way more different than a donkey and a zebra. A caveman and a modern human could not mate. They are genetically incompatible. You may as well try to go have sex with a Klingon. It's just not going to make a baby, dude.
Okay. So where do you think white people came from then?
Well, that's primarily focusing on just one race of people. The bigger question is, where did white people, brown people, yellow people, red people, where did all these different races of modern humans, which are genetically compatible, come from? Because people want to look at our differences, and they don't want to look at our similarities. We are so different from every other life form on Earth, we as human beings. But me and you, we are not so different. We are not so different from these other species of humans or these other races of humans. We are not so different from the modern Russians. We are not so different from the modern Chinese or Japanese. You could go over there and have a baby with a Chinese woman right now, and your DNA is compatible.
Not exactly. I'm Rh negative, man.
They got a shot for that. Your DNA is compatible.
Yeah, it's a bunch of pills throughout the pregnancy. My ex-wife had to do that.
Point being that Rh negative could still be extraterrestrial. That's a fact. But what I'm getting at is if you're looking at geneticist data, pick an animal, any animal on Earth that you want to pick. I'm going to roll a cigarette, but you pick that animal, and we're going to continue the discussion of what we're headed on with that animal. Pick a good one. Pick a wondrous animal.
Okay, a tiger.
Are you still there?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah. Pick an animal while I roll a cigarette. Pick something wonderful like a humpback. A tiger? Is any kind of tiger?
Huh?
Is any kind of tiger?
Any kind of tiger.
Fine then. I want to pick the very rare liger.
Which comes from breeding a lion and a tiger.
Yes, which is a real animal. A lot of people think it's a mythical creature, but ligers actually do exist.
In rare circumstances, you can breed them the other way, and something else pops out.
Yes, that would be a golden tiger. Those are very rare and they almost always die. So an actual golden tiger that survived is you may as well just consider yourself the next Bill Gates if you manage to breed one.
Um, but yeah, what I'm saying is two different. Even though it's two different subspecies of the same species.
No, what you're not getting is cavemen were not our subspecies. They're not our subspecies at all. They're not.
So you think,
They are not related to us genetically. That's what I'm trying to get across to you.
okay, so you think that modern Homo sapiens had just outlasted everybody else. They didn't interbreed at all.
Ah, now you're getting into the good part of the discussion. No, I don't believe that either. Here's what's up. Here's what I'm getting at. I'm going to lead into this conversation like this. We ended up what? Talking about a liger?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and just pretend we've got a geneticist handy. And we're just going to magically look at this liger's DNA structure, his whole genome. Right?
Wait, hang on, just a second, brother. Posted the wrong link to you. This will start off at the part you probably skipped through
No,
to
I've
hear
seen
this,
that.
like all the way through about the genetic code and the junk DNA and
I know. Red-headed people didn't exist until about 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. Blue eyes didn't exist until about 4,000
no,
years
not
ago.
that. It
But
starts at 924 and it tells about junk DNA. About 97% of our DNA is supposed to be junk DNA that doesn't get used.
and you are wrong, brother. You are wrong. What you're
What?
watching, what you're watching there is a video. What you're watching is a video from how old is that video? I want you to look at that video and tell me the date on that video.
You didn't let me finish to tell you what it said.
Go ahead.
It said that the 97% is not only not junk DNA,
Then you are right.
well, what it says is that it's like an auto correcting code. Basically, it's like programmer code. It corrects itself every so often.
It's kind of like this. It was recently discovered, I believe, in late 2014, that all of the junk DNA that we thought that humans had was actually servitor DNA. What servitor DNA is believe it or not, I have a complete copy of you and your family's DNA in my junk DNA. Every human on Earth is related. Like a geneticist that really knew their shit could take my genetics, okay, and my junk DNA and create a you, because every human shares this exact same junk DNA. Now, how we get made is as we pass through the process of forming ourselves, we pass through this junk DNA and we just become our own individual, taking and choosing what we want. Naturally, you know. But inside my genetics is a complete copy of your genetics. And inside your genetics is a complete copy of mine and all other humans for that matter.
So you think that pretty much that DNA stores every other copy
It's a set of
could
it's a set of master
create
it's a set of master,
personal person.
it's a set of master blueprint DNA for all human beings. Yes. That's exactly what it is. That's a proven fact.
What these guys was that it's lopped off.
I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of losing signal.
That could be.
Are you running a lot of things in the background? You're kind of chopping up, man. Are you there?
All right, are we good?
Yeah. Well, see, let me get it down to you on pretty much what the junk DNA turned out to be. It's kind of like a blank human genome. Okay, this junk DNA is like a set of master DNA. A million times over, you could shoot a million humans through this same set of blank DNA. They would all come out different because it's like a blank slate for all humankind. This is the DNA that everyone shares, and 97% of that is identical for every human being on Earth. And people wonder why when they meet someone, it's like they already know them. I suggest quantum entanglement. People are so much alike that they don't even realize it. Are you still there? I don't think he is still there. I do not believe him to still be there. I wonder if my net went down. Is my net down? Well, I've got internet.
Yellow?
Purple.
Yeah, man. I just dropped net connection for like no reason.
Hey, man, I fully understand that. I'm through South Central, so yeah, they just dropped net because it was like, oh my God, did you see that? That full-grown man's looking at cartoon porn. Drop his net. You know, so that's how they do it.
Somebody been up on Haven up in here.
I know, right? It's not fair.
Uh,
And I mean,
but shit, man. I mean,
go ahead.
hello.
Yeah.
Got luggage.
Oh, I'm about half worried about how my voice is going to sound over the video because I have to